We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Alvin. Alvin previously had two Sony AV receivers, one with 7.1 but no HDMI, and one with HDMI but 5.1 only. He was connecting them together to create a 7.1 setup. We suggested looking for an affordable 7.1 AV receiver with HDMI, so he wound up buying a Denon AVR at 1912, and he loves the results and says thank you.
Glad you're happy with it.
I'm glad you're happy with it too. His surround speakers are up high on bookcases in the rear corners of his room, and his surround back speakers are on lower bookcase directly behind him. He says he hears pretty good separation between surrounds and surround backs, but he has always thought it could be better. The 1912 has the option of using front heights instead of surround backs, but it's Dolby Pro Logic 2Z, not Atmos. So should he ditch his surround backs in favor of surround front heights, or is there something else he could try? I would totally do that. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh, would you? Okay.
I would. I know he says he's hearing the separation, and there's quite a bit of distance between them. I would move my surround speakers. Well, would I? I mean, I really want him to move his surround speakers forward some, but he's not going to do that. So that's
looking at the diagram of his room, you could see why. Because basically, where you would want to put the surround right speaker, there's a doorway. And his couch is pushed all the way to the left of his room. So if you put the surround left speaker on the left wall, right. If someone were sitting in the leftmost seat of that couch, that speaker would be right there, like right there, which is probably fine for his primary seat. But it is a bit of a challenge. You'd either end up with your surround speakers slightly in front of the couch, which isn't the end of the world, but not really ideal, or you sort of end up where he has them, which is in sort of the rear corners of the room, which makes sense. I can't say that doesn't make sense.
I would consider taking the surround back speakers since they're small anyways, and using them as front heights and checking it out.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely give it a try because in the setup that you have, your surrounds are already behind you. So if you were to mix down 7.1 soundtracks, it's not like you lose those sounds that are supposed to be in the surround back channels. They're still going to be playing, and they're still going to be coming from behind you. I would absolutely give front heights a try because, why not?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I have to scroll past the pictures of his room now. Hold on. It takes a second to scroll. His computer's doing lots of things. He has two subs, a JBL PSW1000 with a 0-180 degree phase switch, and a Paradigm PS1000 with a variable phase knob. His bass sounds pretty good and even across his seats, but it actually sounds best in his hallway and kitchen. He has no idea how to set the phase for each of these two subs. Can we offer any advice? Listen from your kitchen in the hallway, I guess.
No, that's not our real advice.
No, it's not a real advice, no. Okay, so you can't do anything with the 0-180 degree phase switch. It's
leave it at 0. Leave that one at 0.
Pretty much useless. So what you would do is you would take your Paradigm PS1000 knob, and you're going to play a bass sweep through your system. On repeat. And then you're going to adjust the knob a little bit and listen, and adjust the knob a little bit more and listen. Adjust the knob a little bit more. And if it clicks every time, then, just get yourself a little chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it doesn't click, it has lines, then, the number of lines that you go. And if it doesn't have lines, then I don't know, dude. You're out of luck. But
really hoping, he really only has this one couch in here. That's his seating area. So thankfully, it's not like he has to listen everywhere in this room or something.
No, he doesn't. He just has to listen from each one of those seats.
Yeah,
and try
so
to see how even it can be.
Yeah, and what you're hoping for is you're playing this bass sweep on repeat. It's gonna have some humps and dips in it. That's okay. That can be taken care of with equalization later. But what you're trying to do is when you sit in each of those 3 seats, you get the same humps and dips from seat to seat. Now, what you can do that really helps here is use a marked sweep. So if you go to audiocheck.net, where I like to make my bass sweeps, they have an option there to make it marked, which means that every 10 hertz in the sweep, it'll make an audible little squelch sound. So that way you can count the squelches and know approximately where you are. You'll know that you're between 80 and 70 hertz or between 50 and 40 hertz, something like that. So what you're hoping for is similar humps and dips in all three of your seats. That's the goal, because that means uniformity. And once you have uniformity, if you equalize it, then it will be the same in all of your seats. So you can have linearity and uniformity. That's the goal. On the other hand, if you really only care about one seat, don't worry about it too much. Just equalize for that seat, and the other seats get what they get. But the point of playing with the phase is to get uniformity.
I question, to be honest with you, what he means by best bass in the hallway and stuff.
Yeah, that's
true. I
loudest?
think what he means by loudest, I think he's saying, wow, it's just rumbling in here. I'm like, yeah, that's not good bass. That's loud bass. And loud bass is perfectly fine when it's called for. But if you're getting even bass across your seats, basically what you have is a bass trap, like a bass sink that's down your hallway into this kitchen. Yes, the bass is bouncing around back there, and that's all you're really hearing. You're not hearing any of the other stuff. It's more balanced in your room, and it sounds more even in your room. I might think that you have the best bass in your room. You just have the loudest bass elsewhere.
Could be.
In which case, maybe don't worry about this so much and just go with it. Because honestly, I mean, as far as the room itself is concerned, he's placed his subs pretty well. He could cheat that PSW 1000 forward a little bit to be closer to that bookshelf, and it would be practically mirrored to the PS 1000 that he's got.
But it isn't really diagonally opposite because you've got this opening.
Because of the opening. That's right.
Because of the opening.
But I'm tempted to think that he's probably got pretty good bass right now. So he says his room is 12 by 15 by 8 with sliding glass doors near the front left and the opening to the kitchen on the rear right. Do we have any suggestions for room treatments? Anywhere you can, I guess, is usually the suggestion that we have. You have plush furniture. You have
carpeting.
Carpeting. You have a diffuser right behind your head in that bookshelf that's behind you. In front of you there, you've got the big, long curtain there, which is probably hiding something, a window or something, who knows. But behind that, you could put some insulation if you really wanted to, some sort of absorption. You probably don't want to cover up the weird glowing red shelf of knickknacks up there, but you could fill that up with insulation and put some black speaker cross, and you have a nice big bass trap up there.
It would be a bass trap up there. I don't know how much bass trapping he needs with an opening to this room.
He probably doesn't need that much, but I mean,
really, and this isn't vital, but I mean, you probably have some fairly strong first reflections coming from that glass door to the left and what looks to just be a flat wall with pictures hanging on it to the right. Now, obviously, putting a panel like hanging on that glass door isn't an option, but you can get the freestanding type of panels. That's about other than bass trapping in the top corners of the room. That's about the only thing I might do here.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. You got a bookshelf on your left there. You're not gonna be able to do anything. I mean, on your right side.
Yeah.
I'm looking from the left of the picture. So getting a removable or movable panel that you can put
freestanding
next to your left front speaker, so that it catches that first reflection. That's about all I really see in here.
And how audible that's actually gonna be,
It's gonna be that.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference.
We didn't do anything for this dude. Sorry, man.
No,
we're like, don't spend any
advice.
money. You're fine. Yeah, I think you got a pretty good home theater.
Yeah, we're
just
not
by looks.
Give you a bunch of do this for no gain. What's the point of that?
Yeah, I think you could try that, but I would get like a bunch of real heavy, or maybe like a moving blanket or something like that, or just have somebody stand up over there and do it
see
and
if it makes any worthwhile
difference for you. I mean, 'cause it might really not. It might not. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.